Hello, hello, hello. Let me know where you are watching from in the world and what your book or books are about. Today, we're going to be talking about how to beat the bans. And this is very timely because every day it's a new story with TikTok. And so I'm going to show you how you can sell regardless of the platform, and so that you don't have to worry about whether or not the platform's banned. And I'll also talk a little bit about if you get banned from Amazon, because that's another thing you have to be concerned about. So I am going to be doing a lot of screen sharing today, so you won't see me on camera, but you can see my little face over here. And so with this, let's go ahead and get started. So I'm going to be using my second business that I have, Chef Ashley Shep, and that's actually how I got into being an author. And so I'm going to model and demonstrate different ways that I sell my books that don't rely on one platform. Hey, Cynthia, thanks for tuning in. So, with this, right now I'm inside of my app that is called Metricool. And if you are very big into data, or if you need a way to track your social media data and even your website data, you can add that here as well. Let me move myself over here so y'all can see this. And so you can connect everything, and even these newer platforms like Blue Sky, which I haven't joined yet, but I am going to, not to overwhelm or not to feel like you need to be on every platform, but just let me put you on game. You want to make sure that you at least have your handle on the platforms that pop up. So like Fanbase is one, Blue Sky is another one, and there will be others, I'm sure. However, if one of these suddenly decides to pop off, you do want to at least have your name on them as a way to kind of solidify your quote unquote real estate on the platform. So, with that, just a little caveat, adding that in there. All right, so I'm looking at my analytics because I just want to show you some of the reasons why people are so up in arms about the TikTok ban in terms of entrepreneurs, because of the power of the TikTok algorithm. And I'm using this as a point to say that I am not somebody who had consistently been using TikTok, and I'm pulling up my stats. So this is just from the last month, but I'm gonna go a little further. Let's see. Okay, just to really prove to you that I literally have not been putting anything on TikTok, like nothing, in terms of this business, which is Chef Ashley Shep. And so these little yellow bars are posts that have been on there. So I did one post in November, and then I started kicking things back up at the end of December because one of my books is on the Daniel fast, which is something that people do typically January, February each year. And so I said, okay, TikTok might get banned, but let me go ahead and see what I can do, make it work while it's still here. And so then I started doing a few posts. But even notice there's nothing bananas, just two posts here, one post there, two there, and so on. And so I'm going to show you what that looks like on the flip side, actually on the platform. And so this is my food TikTok. And so just from a view standpoint, not a ton of views. I mean, actually, they're not too shabby for not having been on the platform, but this is kind of one of the points that people are really going to be upset, especially entrepreneurs and authors, because book talk is a huge thing in terms of finding your readers, finding your audiences. Hashtags are super important on TikTok. And so they also have done some other things to help make it so that you are easily able to find your reader, which we know as authors, that is super important because that controls everything else. If you know who your reader is, you know where they hang out. Whoops, my apologies. I was trying to scroll. You know where they hang out, then you are able to know how to sell to them, how to market to them, things like that. And it makes it a lot easier. And so just was going through the cadence of doing 1 to 2 posts a day. And so with this, I also have my TikTok shop set up. So now you saw on that first screen, I literally have not been posting on TikTok. And so one post here, and let me count. So 12 posts in the last 3 months, because that's the time period I did. So if I go over to my TikTok shop, and I have this set to just the last month or the last 28 days. I don't think they don't have a 3-month feature, but I didn't sell anything before that, but I've made over $200 from posting 12 times. And like, I don't even engage with other people on this platform. I respond to people's comments, but I'm not going in and doing all the things that other platforms like Instagram require you to do to really see people, to be able to see your post. And so this is something that is so powerful, because if you are not somebody who is super, what is the word I'm gonna look for? If you're not someone who is like, oh, I love social media, or if you don't have time to necessarily spend all this time on the platforms, this is the reason why entrepreneurs and why business owners are like, oh my gosh, I don't want TikTok to go away. Because literally 12 posts, over $200. And this is not even a full month in this case, because I didn't really start selling things until December 30th. So, and right now, today is the 17th. So it's been a little over 2 weeks. And then just for reference, these are the products to show you. I only sell my own products. I don't sell other people's products on here, but that is another option that people do. If you're on the platform, you know it looks kind of like QVC over there. But so I sell my own books, a bundle, and then just different variations. So hardcover, spiral, the book bundle, my devotional, and then the paperback version. So I say all that to say, I want you to think about not focusing on only one platform, because that honestly, regardless of if you're like, I don't use TikTok, I use TikTok, whatever the case may be, that is something that can really keep you trapped and keep you stressed, is if you're putting all your eggs in one basket. And with that, I want to talk to you about the different ways that I diversify my book sales and how you can do the same as well. So I started with TikTok just because I know that's a hot topic, but you can also sell things on your website. And so for me, I'm going to pull that up. So from the last, let's see, I did it from the 23rd because that's when I started opening up sales for those same books. And so within that time period, so from December 23rd to today, that's netted a little over $237. That's so funny. That's the same exact amount. Let me go back. That's wild. I didn't even notice that. Let me switch this back. Wild. Okay, yeah, so a little over. And I did get one return, so this will be closer to 200. But sorry, let me go back one more point to TikTok and explain, because even with this, and I don't want to click on individual orders because I don't want to accidentally show anybody's information, but and actually they have it blurred out, so I might be able to, no, I won't mess with it, but, they also are very good about giving you returns back. Giving you money to support your shipping. So even though, let's say, so for example, let me go to a product, and I'll pull it up on my phone and read it out to you like that. So for example, for this product, I'm going to act like I'm editing it. So for this product, for example, this one is $39.99. And so from a typical order for this, I made about $37, which, if you're selling on any platform, even if it's your own platform, that is bananas, because typically you're not going to make that much money from a book that you are selling on another person's platform, let alone your own platform, because of the fees and things like that. But because TikTok does adjustments and they are, in some ways, lean more towards the seller in terms of helping to support you to get people to buy from your shop, especially if you're a new shop, then they're going to support you in that. And so that's another reason, because authors are able to make their money back pretty quickly once you figure out the algorithm. And then also part of the craze of TikTok is that they created the algorithm in a way in which it's easy to go viral. It's a lot easier to go viral on TikTok than it is any other platform. And then, so just to go back to, as a point of reference, so these are numbers from, let's see, 462 followers. And then let me go to what it was before. So within that short time, so like I'm not posting anything, but steadily growing followers little by little, and then steadily increasing with just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 2, 4. Yeah. So with just 6 videos, from 400 followers all the way to, so gaining 60 followers in 6 videos. So not that that's amazing, not that that was my goal to get followers. I'm more so on there to be able to get sales for the cookbook. But part of the beauty of the algorithm is that you don't have to necessarily be following these people for them to see your stuff. So let me get off TikTok and explain other platforms, because this may or may not be staying depending upon what happens. I know it's a back and forth every day. It seems like, oh, it's staying, oh, it's going, oh, it's staying. And so I want you to be good and not have to even worry about whether or not it's staying for you. So first option, of course, is TikTok Shop. If it stays, and maybe I'll do a training on that to do a little bit deeper into the strategy. But for now, let's focus on ones you can control. And so another platform you can use is your website. And so, for example, I'll show you the sales page for these where people are purchasing from. And so this is for my cookbook. Predominantly, that's the sales that are coming in for that. And it's taking a little time to load. But with this, and then this platform is Kartra. So I do my email marketing, my sales pages, memberships, all that good stuff in here. And so with this, I can see, okay, this week, this is how much was made, $57, this week, $90, things of that sort. And then it will automatically, of course, send the information to the customer. Now, if you're going to be selling a lot of books, I wouldn't suggest using Kartra as a platform for that because the shipping is not great. However, because it integrates with everything else, I have stuck with it. So this is just the sales page for that, for reference. And this book is not inside of Kindle Unlimited, so I'm able to sell the ebook version, which is a PDF, for $20, as opposed to on Amazon, I sell it for $9.99, and then I'm making about $3 per book for that on Amazon, and we'll get to Amazon in a second. But just wanted to show you the sales page. And then another reason why I use Kartra, or another reason why I sell on my own site, is because you have the ability to complete to get customer data. So notice I was clicking off of the page, but I have an opportunity to be able to do a pop-up and get someone to come onto my email list, so that way they can sign up for a free item, and then I can continue to market them there. And I can maybe send them a coupon code or ask them multiple questions. And so having additional touch points. That is a drawback of sites like TikTok, because you don't get the customer information. Even when you're shipping it, you get it just to print the label and then it's gone, and you can't really contact the customer without having a customer service agent in there. And it's just, it's very interesting how they have it set up, which is fine. So with this, so that's kind of the site. So to show just how I'm doing it on my site. And then beyond sales, that listing that I was showing you in terms of adding people onto my email list, how they sign up, this is another way to show the growth within that timeline. So even though sales might be your goal, it's so important to get people onto your email list to be able to nurture and market to them, because you never know when these platforms are going to go. You never know when these platforms are going to no longer be available. And you don't know if they're going to stop working, because even if the platform is still there, there's tons of times where Instagram and Facebook have had outages, and Threads even has been acting up at times too. So you don't want to just rely on these platforms to be able to sell your books. And so this is an example of the leads that I've gotten over the past couple weeks within that same timeline. And this is from that pop-up that I just showed you here. Well, I clicked out of it, but the pop-up I just showed you here. And then also I have other items that I use to be able to bring people onto my interest list and into my email marketing system. And so for that, for example, I have one. Let me pop that up. So one of the ways that I do that is I have a Bible plan on the YouVersion Bible app. And so this is a 6-day plan, and this is a condensed version of my devotional. So essentially what you can do is you can create, if you're someone that this is a strategy it works for. If not, just kind of go with me for a second and think about other ways you can apply this. So this is a plan where at the end of the plan, on the 6th day, people can get on my interest list in this way. So the plan walks them through different steps and different principles that are included in my devotional. And then I encourage them to get some more information. I need to take the first out. I don't know why it's showing them in there. To get additional information, to get additional recipes, strategies, things like that. And then those people end up on my email list, and then I'm able to send them additional emails. So I have sequences that are going in the background to be able to nurture them, to provide them with resources, to send them emails, to send them videos that I've done, things like that. So even though you might be focused on profit, also consider how you are nurturing your audience through following up with them in automated ways, such as email marketing. So for our running total, let's kind of keep going. So TikTok, it was 237, but really we'll say 200 because there is a return. Somebody's book got damaged, which I need to investigate because it was wrapped up. But anyway, so on TikTok, it was $200 that was made. On my site, it was 237. And then also an increase of 277 contacts within this time period, which on average is about 11 leads on my list each day. And what I love about this is an automated strategy. And so it's something that can help help my list to grow. And then I can also see, okay, as people are going to that page, so I'm going to go back and show you the analytics of this, like what this looks like on the back end when people get to it. So let's see. All right, so here, this is just kind of a snapshot of the last 7 days. And so of the 50 people that visited, 30 people signed up to get those free recipes and encouragement. So let's see, let's check the math on that. Use my calculator. Okay, so 60%. that's a pretty high conversion in terms of getting people to sign up for something. And it's because they were introduced to me over a series of steps through that devotional. So if there's something that you're doing with your clients or with people who are reading your book, you always want to think about a way that you can extend the experience for them and to be able to help bring them closer to you off of these other platforms. Okay, next, moving over to Amazon. And for this one, I did want to include, actually, hold on. Let me come back to this Amazon because it's going to log me out because I'm logged into Amazon KDP and then Amazon Advantage, and I have two different logins. So let me do Advantage first, and then we'll come back to KDP. So Amazon Advantage is an option where you can add things that are not available on Amazon KDP. And so I'll just go to the main page. And if you're new and you're like, I don't know what either of these are. So Amazon Advantage, you can actually send your books to Amazon to sell instead of using Amazon KDP to print them. So these are books that I ordered from my offset bulk printer. Then I sent them over to Amazon. And then, I have them housed, and then whenever Amazon requests them, I send them to them. I do have a distributor that helps with the process. So when Amazon requests like 15 books or 3 books or whatever the case may be, then I let her know, and then she ships them to the Amazon warehouses so they're available across the state, across the country. Now, this is an option that I don't recommend if your book is a low profit amount. So like if you have a low profit margin on your book, because they do take 55%. And so this is showing what my profits would be on the books that they sell, because these are between $40 and $50 because they're cookbooks and they're full color premium glossy pages, which are all things that are not available on Amazon KDP. And so that's just kind of the background on that. Now, going back to that. So from this site, and when you look at them as a listing, they show up all the same. So let me go over to Amazon. So on here, when somebody looks at the listing, they don't know where the book is being shipped from necessarily, unless they're kind of just doing some digging. So the Kindle version, that's through Amazon KDP. Then the hardcover spiral paperback, that's the one that I got printed over with a bulk printer, and then Amazon can request those. So if you switch to the different ones, it just looks seamless. Nobody can really tell, like, okay, oh, this comes from this place, this comes from this place. And they can also use Amazon Prime, which is one of the reasons why I put it on here, because despite the huge cut in royalties, it's beneficial because I wouldn't have been able to do a spiral bound on Amazon KDP because they don't offer it. And I'm going to say they don't offer it yet because I do have a feeling they might be considering adding it. And then also for the paperback, the price point that they would have charged me for a paperback in full color on Amazon would have been atrocious, and I would have made a lot less money per book. And so really with all this, really prioritizing profit, but also diversifying your options is going to be key. And so with this, let me go back to what I was saying before. So this is a bit of a learning curve, and it's not something that I typically recommend if you are a new author or if you have a low profit margin for your book. But the reason that I do it is because it is something where I have my cookbook. I was able to order it in bulk. And so the profit margins are there, and it makes sense. And so just kind of to show the trajectory. So I started this last May, and then some months were good. Some months were only sold one book, but just staying consistent with it. And this is without ads. I haven't been running ads to this at all. And so this month, because like I told you before, this is one where, and even got a return there. This is one where people complete this, the Daniel fast typically every January and February. So I knew that January would probably be a good month, and then February might be a good month as well. And then these are just the different warehouses across the country where the books are shipping out of. And so I'm also able to track returns and things like that. But this is another option to diversify your income, because you don't ever want to rely just on one platform, because what happens if that platform goes away? All right, let me know in the comments if this is making sense to you. Drop a 1, or let me know what platforms you are selling on, or if there's a platform I haven't listed just yet, and we can talk about that as well. All right, so for our running total, so this was 3. I'm going to take away that refund because I know it's going to come out later. Okay, no, they already took it out. All right, so $324 on here. And then let me go back to Amazon KDP. So, and actually for our timeline, I was doing December 23rd through, it doesn't show me the date. So, okay, we'll let that slide. But some of these could have happened that last week of December. I'll have to go into the other analytics to look, but I'll leave it here for now. All right, so now going back to one of the old favorites, Amazon KDP. This one is And hold on just a moment. Let me log back in because it's going to act funny since I want to adjust the dates so that it's more representative to be in line with what it is that we're talking about. So from that, so from the 23rd through today. Okay. All right, that didn't change much. So, okay. So this one is old favorite for self-published authors. And did I do? Okay. In the sense of that, it's a very easy startup. It's something where it makes it manageable for you to be able to monitor your books. However, they do take a cut of your books. And so that's something to keep in mind as well. However, you are able to tap into the world's largest bookstore and you're able to reach people that are across the world. And so with this one, this includes all of my books. So let me filter. I don't want to do that. Okay, so let me just look down here. So I was counting just these two. But I mean, these are also selling as well, but not a ton. So looking at these two, so this one's at $357, and then this one's at $62. And part of the difference is that because this one is only available on Amazon, and also it's added into. No, I'm sorry, not only available on Amazon. The ebook is only available on Amazon because it's inside of Kindle Unlimited, and then for this one, the ebook is not. And so it's available, but it's not added into Kindle Unlimited. So I'm not getting paid for page reads, which is fine because I'm able to sell this one for $20 on my website since it's not added to Kindle Unlimited. So I said, okay, I would rather get the $20 as opposed to trying to get the 0.004 cents per page for this one. And then, all right, let's go back to, there's one other thing I wanted to show you all. Oh, on the other side, you can also see different places where your books are being sold. So if you go to orders. Okay, this is what I thought I was going to do. Hold on one moment. Let me log out of my other one. One moment. It's, I got to switch accounts because it refreshed the page. Okay. All right, we're back in. Oh, and password. Okay. Let me get that. Sorry, friends, because I was logged in. Okay. And of course, my computer. But as this is going, let me know if you have any questions about any of these platforms, and I'm happy to share. And this is actually our last platform that we are going to do. Okay, goodness. It's telling me I need to wait a minute. Okay, so you saw what it was. I was going to show you how you could see the different options within the within Amazon KDP, but it is not cooperating. So say all that to say that you want to diversify your platforms and you want to not just sell on sites like TikTok. And so in summary, you want to diversify your platforms. We talked about TikTok, and then we also talked about selling on my site as well as selling on Amazon KDP and Amazon Advantage. Those are options that are there for you. And there's also another Amazon option as well, but it just depends on your goals. And then for our tally, let me tally that up. So from using these strategies, from selling in these different places across different platforms. So it was, let's go back here. So on TikTok, it was 200 from the last, we'll say the last month. And then the website was 237. Then next it was Amazon Advantage was 324. 433, 200. Okay, so overall, I'm at about $1,500, so $1,500.51, or $1,500, $1,500 from selling on these different sites and having these different options. And so when it comes to diversifying that, you really want to focus on profit. You really want to make sure that you are not just using one platform to be able to be successful, because if you do that, then you're missing out on other opportunities. This doesn't mean you need to work yourself to the bone. It means you need to set up systems and put things in place to be able to sell on these other platforms. And once they're set up, then you're able to reap the benefits of these. So once that book is published, you're able to sell it consistently. Once you add the matching devotional or journal or whatever thing, that workbook, whatever might be tied to that book, you're able to add that on as a supplemental resource. And so wanted to share that with you. And then also think about if you're going to add on these other platforms, so such as like Blue Sky, I can't remember the Fanbase, all these other ones. Don't feel like you need to be fully on all of them. At least grab your handle, because you at least want to have that. So at least sign up for the account, grab your handle, because you never know later on down the line if it's something that you want to use futuristically. You want to make sure you have your name as your form of virtual real estate with it. And so, as always, as a recommendation, make sure you prioritize profit, because that is what's going to make all these other things possible in terms of supporting your readers, finding places where you can hang out with those folks, and being able to create wonderful experiences for them as well. So let me know in the chat or in the comments if you are watching on replay, or if you joined late, that's fine too. You can go back and watch the beginning. But I definitely wanted to come on here and share this, because who knows if TikTok's staying or if it's going. However, don't let that stop you, and don't feel like that's the only place that you have to be able to sell your books. It's a great option. However, it's not the only option. And so in review, we've talked about selling on TikTok Shop. We talked about selling on your website. We discussed selling on Amazon Advantage, selling on Amazon KDP, and then also, I forgot one. Oh, goodness. I was like, I know I'm missing something. Okay. I forgot another option. And so let me pull this up. Let me see if I can put this picture up. So I'm actually also doing, and hopefully my text messages don't show on the screen. One moment. Okay. I'm actually also doing a bulk book order for a church that I'll be doing a cooking demonstration with. And so I'll pull up the flyer for that, because that's another great option to be able to get in front of your readers. So finding people who are already going to have your ideal audience in mind, and making it so that they are able to bring those people together, and then you show up in that space. And so, for example, let's see, let me move this. I have a coaching client, and she actually has her session today with an audience. So she has a 21-day, I'm sorry, not 21-day, Lord, that's my book. She has a planner for people who are trying to map out their goals. And so it's called Brown Sugar Goals. And she actually was commissioned by a nonprofit to be able to do a series of workshops for the audience for that nonprofit. And so she was able to sell them books in bulk. She's speaking today. She's based out in California. She's in a safe area, thankfully. And with that, and special mention to anybody who's battling those fires that are out there as well. So hopefully you are staying safe. But with that, she's able to have that as an opportunity to be able to reach her readers, reach her audience, and get paid for her presentation as well. And then this is an example of what I'm doing on Monday. I have a cooking class that I'm doing with this church that I partnered with. This is our second year doing this. They're based in New York. I'm here in Atlanta, Georgia. And I'm able to, through the power of technology, host something with them. They ordered copies of my book, and then also they're going to stream it live to their audience. And so doing bulk book orders. And so for this one, this was $475. So if I add that to my total, oops, not 47. Sorry. Okay. So now we're over $2,000 in sales from books and book related items. So completely forgot about that, but I didn't want to leave that one off. So if this is something that you need support with or you need help with, then definitely comment with the word coaching, or you can reach out to me via email at info@sheppublishing.com. I'll put that in the chat. And we can support you to be able to do that through coaching or other products and services that are a better fit for what it is that you're wanting to do. So hopefully this has been helpful. Let me know if it has been in the chat. And please share with your author friend who might be panicking about TikTok no longer being available, or maybe they might be worried about about Amazon banning them, because that does happen from time to time. And so just to know you have options that are out there and that make it possible for you to publish profitably. So thank you for tuning in, and have a great weekend.